I don't understand the accusations of my friend, and now the whole friend group is against me. I need an outside perspective because I feel like I'm losing my mind. Here's what happened. I had a close childhood friend. Let's call him Gary. We've been through a lot together, and I considered him my best friend. We're both bi and have always had open conversations, but nothing sexual ever happened between us until recently. In mid-August, we hung out at his place. He started talking about nudes and even jokingly offered to take pictures of me while I was in my boxers. I declined, but later I suggested we could masturbate while watching porn together. He admitted he was ashamed of his body, and I reassured him that it was just masturbation, no pressure. He agreed, and we set up to watch a gay porn site, even though I preferred straight porn. At one point, I asked if I could touch him, and he said yes. He even offered to give me a blowjob, which I refused. We finished and hung out afterward like normal, even sharing stories, and agreed to keep it between us. Everything seemed fine, and he even invited me to sleep over again. Fast forward to late September. I was supposed to sleep at his place. I called him several times, but he didn't answer. After waiting outside for over an hour, I finally got in, only to find he had just fallen asleep. We went to the gym, and the atmosphere was tense. Later, the topic of our last encounter came up. I mentioned I wasn't sure if I liked it, but if he wanted to try again, I was open to it. That's when he revealed he hadn't liked it at all and had cried after I left. He's a survivor of childhood sexual assault, and I immediately apologized for putting him in that situation. A few hours later, I was in my boxers again and asked if it bothered him. He said no. I was scrolling on Twitter and came across something inappropriate. He then suggested we do it again. I asked him twice if he was sure, and he said yes both times. We went through with it, but this time, we focused on ourselves. Afterward, we watched a movie, and I bought him a kebab. I checked in with him, and he said he was great. We slept in the same bed, and the next morning, I asked if he was okay again. He assured me he was super good, and I went home. Then, everything changed. Over a month later, Gary sent me a long, accusatory voice message. He said he hadn't told anyone, but felt forced into the situation. I was in shock. I apologized immediately, suggesting we talk it over the phone, but he never called. Soon after, I realized our entire friend group had completely iced me out. They stopped talking in group chats and became distant. I later found out Gary had shared his version of events with them before even confronting me. His story painted him as completely passive and me as the one pressuring him, omitting all his active choices. My friends refused to hear my side. They said they needed to protect Gary and didn't know how to handle it. I felt completely ghosted and ostracized. I apologized to Gary 3 times with no response. I feel like a monster. I started therapy because I can't live with the guilt. But when I replay the events in my head, I see 2 consenting adults, with him saying yes clearly and participating actively. I know I failed to see any hidden discomfort, and for that, I am truly sorry. But I don't understand being labeled a predator and losing everyone I cared about. Gary has a history of telling surprising, hard-to-verify stories about his life, and now I'm questioning everything. So, based on my side of the story, I have a few questions. Did I harm my friend? How could I have known his yes wasn't real? Is there any coming back from this with my friend group? And how do I deal with this crushing guilt and isolation?